Alrighty, welcome to Morning Coffee. I'm not sure what number it is because, hey, I've totally lost track. But, because I did a couple of morning coffees with John, but I don't remember the numbers right offhand. I'd have to go look again. Anyway, it is a morning coffee because, hey, it's early morning. And not as early as I normally do, though, but it is early morning. So I wanted to touch on the 3-eye Atlas object. I don't want to call it a comet because I don't think it is. And you have some prominent scientists that are now coming forward saying they don't think it's a comet either. But anyway, I want to put my spy pinning on the comet, alleged comet called Atlas. They're calling it Atlas because the Atlas telescope was one that discovered it first. So that's why they call it Atlas. I thought they called it Atlas because they wanted to start with the letter A, but no, it was the Atlas telescope that discovered it, and so therefore it's 3-eye Atlas. It's the third object from the outer area, and it's the Oort cloud they call it, and it's interstellar. Therefore, it's 3-eye. So it's the third interstellar object, basically, is what it means. And then the Atlas is, like I said, because the Atlas telescope is one that discovered it. Now, here's the problem with Atlas. The problem with Atlas is that it's not acting like a comet. It's not even acting like an object from the Oort cloud. Atlas is acting like it is a controlled vehicle of some kind, whether it be biological or a metallic, type vehicle. That remains to be seen. I'm thinking it's actually maybe a biological entity because we're getting reports that it is shearing off carbon as it approaches the sun. Okay, well, if it's shearing off carbon, then that means it could be a carbon-based life form. It could be a biological entity unto itself. I forget what TV show it was, but there was a TV show about space, and the spaceship itself was biological. It was a biological entity. It was like a space whale or something, and they were living inside of it. I can't remember the name of the TV show. Somebody help me out. But it was awesome. It was a great show. But yeah, the starship they were on, the spaceship they were on, was a biological entity itself. It was literally alive. It was literally a living being, which was really an interesting twist, really. But this thing is shearing off carbon, allegedly, according to what some are saying. Now, obviously, I don't believe in space. I don't believe in planets. I don't believe in any of that shit, because I know it was created by an atheist, a Greek atheist, years and years ago that hated religion. So I don't believe any of this shit. But anyway, we're going with what we've got, okay? So humor me. We're going with what they say. But it's not acting like a typical comet, and because it's shearing off carbon. Now, most comets, they say, are made out of iron and other hard metals. Okay, so it wouldn't be a comet in that regard because it's shearing off carbon. Another thing is that the tail of this alleged comet, this alleged object, is not, the tail is not pointed in the correct direction. Something or somebody, well, I might have been right the first time, something careening through space at, hundreds of thousands, if not millions or billions of miles an hour, is not going to have a comet tail that's pointing towards the sun, which is what this tail is doing. And that makes absolutely no sense. And even the scientists are like, say, what? So, yeah, it's very, very bizarre, very strange. There's no rhyme or reason for that. Makes no sense. Then also, you have the fact that the trajectory of Atlas is, it has to be something that was pre-calculated. Because Atlas, it turns out, if the trajectory is correct, it is literally avoiding the gravity wells of every planet in our solar system. Every single one. Now, in order to avoid all of the gravity wells of every planet in our solar system, including the sun's, by the way, it would have to be pre-made. It would have to be calculated, okay? It just would. It'd have to be calculated, which means it's intelligent to some extent. Now, like I said, what if this is a type of space whale or space angel? They used to have these pictures of things that look like angels out there flying around, and I documented a couple pictures of those. They were really, actually quite pretty, I thought, but they're like, I called them space angels because they kind of look like an angel, but they would be out there flying around, and I'm just wondering if this isn't some kind of biological entity that's just, out flying around, But who knows? In any event, it's an interesting situation, because this is obviously not a comet. This is not just some rock coming out from the Oort cloud. This is something else. I don't know what. Now, like I said, I don't believe in space. So if there is an object coming, it would be coming from elsewhere on the flat plane of Earth. Remember, Admiral Byrd said that beyond the ice wall, Rockefeller ice wall. Is it? Yes. Okay, but beyond the ice wall, there are other lands and other inhabitants, and he was very clear about that. And Byrd is not crazy. He's an admiral. He's not crazy. And, and the fact that some of his men mutinied proves that that he encountered something out there bizarre. Anyway, the point is that, this object, whatever it is. Now, as I told you, if you'll recall, I told you that the destroyer comes every 37,000 years and weighs humanity into balance. And if we're a bunch of idiots, it just wipes us out and starts over. Hopefully that will not be the case. But in any event, I just thought I would share my opinions on this thing and get it out there to you. Also, Hamilton, it turns out, may be a bust. I put a few job applications in, haven't heard anything back. If I don't hear anything back in a few days, I'm going to move on, because obviously I can't, I'm running low on fuel, and, I'm running low on food stamps and that sort of thing. I have two possible options, going south or going west. I may even stop by Manchester, Kentucky and pick Sharpie up. I'm not sure yet. It all depends upon what these individuals say about my destination and about where I'm going. But we'll see. But I would love to pick Sharpie up and bring him with me. I really would. But I gotta see what's going on, But hopefully I can. I don't understand. I don't understand why I just haven't won the lottery or gotten my disability. But seems like every turn I get denied. I went to the government office here in Ohio, and they told me I have to go all the way back to Corbin and reapply. I can't apply in Ohio. And I'm like, what? SSI is federal. What do you mean I can't apply in Ohio? They said, no, you got to go back to Corbin. I think it's because my last known physical address is in Kentucky, and that's why. But I'm not sure on that. But I think that's their excuse, is that, well, your residence says Kentucky, so you have to go to Kentucky to reapply. I don't think that's legitimate. I think I should be able to reapply in Ohio, but I don't know. I guess if I had a residence here in Ohio, then I could apply for my SSI and benefits. But they're saying no. I have to go all the way back to Corbin, Kentucky, and reapply there. So I may have to go back to Kentucky no matter what I do, which means, folks, the donations are back on. I've got to have donations to get back out on the highway. this really sucks. I had hoped that Hamilton would be a good thing, but you know, if I don't hear anything from these job applications, I put several job applications in, folks. So, you know, the trolls can go pound sand. Okay, I put several applications in. I don't hear anything. I'm gonna have to leave. I'm gonna have to keep going and see what I can do elsewhere. You know, what I need is someone that I can be with, actually be with, that can physically help me as well as, you know, just talk and whatever. You know, because, see, you've got to have a residence, and I need a residence, you know, because when I go into these places, I have to give them my address. Well, I give them my Kentucky address, and what are they going to say? They're going to say, well, go back to Kentucky. That's what they're going to say. So I need a residence, an actual physical street address that I can give them so that I can reapply and try to get my stuff. But so far, nothing yet. And anyways, so just thought I'd comment on this and get it all out there. But yeah, we need to. I think if I don't hear anything in a few days, because I'm dangerously low on gas, if I don't hear anything in a few days, I'm gonna have to get back out on the road, whether I like it or not. So anyway, that's it. Have a good one, guys. Bye.